today on Divorce Court.
He used to call me beautiful every day, and he used to show love and affection every day, but that stopped.
When we got married, my expectations were that things were gonna be 50-50 as far as bills, chores, everything. I spoke to her about that, and she agreed.
The family issues is affecting our relationship because his mom is trying to bribe him to leave me.
I feel like she's checked out. She's just looking for someone to take care of her.
Divorce Court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Eddie Sweet and Loxie Sweet. The two of you have been married for 3.5 years. You've been together for 4 years. You don't have any children together. You're here to get some advice because you want to save your marriage. Mr. Sweet, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your relationship, how it started, and why we're in divorce court today?
When me and Loxie met, we were both working. She was working. She had normal activities. She went out with friends. She had hobbies. I felt like we were a partner in the relationship as far as the financials and everything, like chores and stuff like that. And it seems like the more and more, like, the time goes on in our marriage, the less and less she does.
Okay. Start me out at the beginning, though. I mean, because I think you had an interesting, you got married after knowing her for 60 days.
Yeah.
Talk to me what happens in 60 days that says, I do at the end of it.
All right, well, when me and her met, we were homeless, we were living on the streets, okay? So in my head, and I'm just being honest, I don't know if this is, logical or whatever. In my head, I thought I need to lock this girl in now who's willing to marry a homeless man right now. And that was my logic. I mean,
Did she have a home?
She moved, when we first met, no.
So you were both homeless?
Homeless, yes, ma'am.
So you wanted to lock down somebody else with no house? I don't get it.
At that time in my life, I was on drugs. I didn't have any goals, so I really wasn't thinking into the future.
Mm-hmm. Ms. Sweet, what did you see within 60 days that said to you, I should marry this guy?
I felt like he was my soulmate.
What made you think he was your soulmate?
By the way he made me feel, and like we was both struggling and going through a lot, and we was gonna pull each other out of it together, and I just felt like that meant something.
Do you still think he's your soulmate?
I don't know.
Why don't you tell me, you said earlier that you believe that as the relationship is continued, she's doing less and less and become more and more lazy. Explain the course of events to me.
What do you mean? The
like
evolution of Loxie not working?
Yes. Yes.
All right, it started off, like I said, we were working, we both had jobs, we were both contributing to the marriage as far as paying bills and food and all that good stuff. What exactly occurred to make her not do that, I can't really say. There wasn't like a significant, I guess.
There wasn't an event.
Yeah,
it
wasn't one event. I think it's just the struggling, just the 3.5 years we've been married has been rough. So I think it's just built up on her maybe. She's getting depressed. But I'm depressed too. I'm working 3 jobs. When I get off work, I have to come home, do the cleaning, do the laundry, do the cooking. But in the time that we've been married, she's cooked for me 3 times. She doesn't agree to that.
He is such a liar.
Maybe it's been 5 times, okay?
Mrs. Sweet, is he holding down 3 jobs and then he has to come home and do all of the housework as well?
No, he's lying. He's not holding down 3 jobs.
Does he come home to a meal and a nice clean house?
No, I've been down for my knee surgery.
She's been down for 3 years. Time to get up.
Well,
tell it, Mr. Sweet. Mr. Sweet is frustrated. Before the knee surgery, were you on top of all of the domestic duties since he was on top of all the economic ones?
Yes, I was working. I was a waitress.
For how long?
5 weeks.
Did the two of you discuss who was going to do what when you got married?
50-50. It was going to be split.
50-50 on the bills,
It doesn't matter how
everything.
she made the money. I don't want her on the streets, giving it away for money or whatever, but I mean, have a hustle, do something. Like, I do photography, okay?
Right.
I take pictures, I hustle those, you know? Whatever it takes to pay our rent. I might not be able to keep a stable job, but as soon as I lose a job, I go and find another one. She can't even do that. And
you got no hustle, Mrs. Sweet? You're not out there trying to join hands with your man and get out there and make something happen economically?
No.
And it's not
You
fun
say that his mother doesn't like you. Is that true?
That's true.
You think she's a lot of the problem? A lot of the reason why he's mad at you is because he's listening to his mother. Is that true?
That's true. She bribes him to leave me. She tells him that if he leaves me, she'll put him up in a different apartment and stuff, and that really makes me mad.
Because my mom doesn't...
Now, why do you think his mother wants him to leave you?
Probably because I haven't worked that much since we've been together. And I know that, but I've had a lot of issues, a lot of health issues. I had my appendix taken out, my gallbladder taken out. I've had 2 knee surgeries.
Elective.
Yeah, but we're talking 3.5 years, though.
Elective knee surgeries.
You know what I'm saying?
I worked, too.
When's the last time you had a job?
The last time I had a job was right before I had the surgery.
Elective surgery. We discussed this surgery, that maybe this wasn't the best time to have this surgery because we just moved into a new apartment, okay? She knew that we needed 2 incomes to pay for that rent. And then her doctor, the doctor's concern is only getting money, okay? The doctor's not gonna pay her rent, buy her food. The doctor right now is paid and on vacation somewhere, and me and her are struggling, about to be homeless.
Mrs. Sweet, this man is sounding so logical over here. You were in a situation, in a new apartment, you needed both incomes. Did you decide to have elective surgery and just leave him out alone in the cold?
I wouldn't say elective surgery. I don't know why he calls it elective surgery.
That's the definition of it.
The doctor strictly said if I don't have the surgery, I'm going to have a knee replacement.
That doctor wanted money, and he got money, and we're struggling, about to be homeless.
I'm with you, Mr. Sweet, but in one context, you do kind of have to listen to the professionals when they're saying, you know, your knee is bad and you might have to have replacement surgery.
I understand that.
And all that kind of stuff, but you could have found a job sitting down somewhere and waited for a while and helped this man pay the rent. Sometimes you got to wait on some stuff.
He's quit at least 10 jobs.
But I always find another one.
He's had like 10 jobs since we've been together. He can't keep a job either. So what's
I'm not perfect, and like I said, I have trouble maintaining a job. I can't.
But you always get a new one.
I always find some way to pay our electric,
for a
pay our phone
day.
bill. Whether it's a day or whatever, I'm still making money that day, and the next day I go find another source of income.
Okay, I got it. I'm gonna talk to Mrs. Sweet for a second.
He don't show me any kind of intimacy or anything like that, so.
Well, tell me about that. What's lacking in your love life?
Sex.
Well, there you go. Now, Mrs. Sweet, I understand that deep down in your heart of hearts, you really don't think it's your job to provide for the family economically. You were raised to believe that that's a man's job. That's what you said. Is that accurate?
That's the way I was raised, yeah. I was raised, until this day, my dad still tells me that the man should take care of the woman.
Mm-hmm. And you think that's how this relationship should be?
No, I don't feel like that's how this relationship should be, but he don't show me any kind of intimacy or anything like that, so.
Well, tell me about that. What's lacking in your love life?
Sex.
Well, there you go. I asked,
That's right.
and she told me.
You got it. No question about it now.
That's what I get. So, has it gone away altogether, or is it just infrequent?
Infrequent, like once in a blue moon.
Now, Mr. Sweet, I never, ever make a man defend his position on that. But if you care to comment, you may do so.
Yeah. By the time I get home, I don't know how you feel when you get off work from a hard day's work, but If she's more concerned with having sex all the time, being homeless, you can have sex 24/7, you know? When I'm done making money, by the time I get home, maybe I'm not in the mood for sex. And honestly, I feel a bit resentful at Loxie for putting us in the situation that we're in, to where I don't really feel that intimate with her. Why should I share that expression of love with her in that way if she can't even express, like, clean my laundry for me? Like, I don't, you know, I mean, does that make sense?
Oh, it makes complete sense. Do you understand what he just said to you?
Yeah.
He said, look, I'm out busting my behind by myself, trying to make some money. I come home, house ain't together, don't have any food. Why would I want to touch you?
Ex-girlfriends.
Huh?
Talking to ex-girlfriends.
Yeah, because they're working.
No, we'll go.
Well, then maybe you should go be with one of your
Now,
ex-girlfriends.
Mrs. Sweet,
Don't tempt me.
let me say this to you. I'm not mad, but can you imagine being in his position? That he's struggling so hard to keep both of your heads above water that he doesn't even feel supported, that the home life is taken care of. You're just kind of like
She's
kicking
kicked
back.
Yeah, just kick back.
Do you see that? And do you see that that's why he doesn't feel intimate towards you? Because he feels like you're not contributing to the two-ness of you. You just about your oneness.
I told him I was depressed, and when I get depressed, I just don't feel like getting out of the bed.
Mm-hmm. How long you been depressed?
I've been depressed my whole life.
Well, maybe getting out in the sunshine outside of the house would help, you know, depression, get some serotonin going in your brain, something. Living like a troll, I'd be depressed too, you know?
Mr. Sweet, you have this all worked out. I know, but I mean,
I've had 3
enjoying
years
your
to think about it.
conversation.
I've had 3.5
I've enjoyed
years.
your conversation. You feel like she's sabotaging you. What do you mean by that?
Even when I went on the news for my pictures, Loxie said that I couldn't go on there unless she could be on the news too. You know, this was a big deal for me to be able to show my photography off, especially even though it was just a local news
They
station.
asked for me to be on the
Hang
news
on, Mrs.
with
Sweet.
you.
Mrs. Sweet, hang on a second. Mr. Sweet, go ahead, finish up.
I'm just being honest. That's what she said. She said that if they don't allow me to go on to the show with you, I don't want you doing that. She doesn't support me.
Did you go anyway?
She went on with me.
Oh. Why'd you want to go on the show with him?
They said Loxie and Eddie Sweet.
Did they?
No, they
Yes.
It's about his photography? Are you part of his photography business?
Well, they had a lot of questions that they was asking me and stuff.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's nice. You got a good eye there.
didn't. Thank you.
Oh.
That's in Cincinnati. I know you're from Cleveland, so you might know that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Now, Mrs. Sweet, I'm going to give us a little second. I'm going to give you some time to dig yourself out of this hole you're in. And tell me what you provide for Mr. Sweet so I can give you some kind of encouragement to keep him.
Last month, when we were threatened with eviction, she was gonna go to her dad's house and leave me on the street. Now, my mom wouldn't let me come back to live with her because I'm still with Loxie, sticking up for her.
Are Loxie's medical problems preventing her from getting a job? Tell us what you think at facebook.com/divorce court. Divorce Court will be right back. If you would like your case to be heard on Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Divorce Court. Tell me something good, Mrs. Sweet. Something helpful. If you're helping with this camera, something. Something.
I do. I'm there for his photography.
She was there when the cameras came out. She was right there by me. I'm his wife. But when I'm out there hustling and getting the picture, she ain't nowhere to be found.
What does he provide?
A roof. I just paid our electric bill. We have a vehicle. Don't even get me started. I'm not perfect by any means. I've introduced her to drugs in the very beginning of our marriage, but I'm trying to get my life back together, back on a right track. And if she doesn't want to be a part of that, she needs to figure out if
What she's gonna do.
What she's going to do, or get help for the problems she thinks she has. If she's depressed, go seek some kind of help for that. She's not wanting to do that. She's not wanting to do anything. I'll support her if she is, depressed or whatever, but she's not looking for any help. So how can I help someone who doesn't want to help themselves? If she doesn't change after this show, I have to leave her to save myself.
I'm looking for work now, whenever we get back.
She is, yeah.
You're looking for work now. I got to tell you, Mrs. Sweet, you got a narrow window about this wide to do the right thing, and you got to come up with a whole lot of right in a very short period of time. You're in an urgent situation. You're about to fall over the marital cliff, and you fall over the marital cliff, you fall over the economic cliff because you don't have any money. So you got to be a little bit scared, and you have to walk out of here a little bit scared. I'm always scared. I'm always looking for another job. You know why? Because, run a little bit, don't get comfortable. I think you're comfortable. Yeah. I think you're waiting for the disability to kick in so you can kick back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you're gonna lose your dude. You're gonna lose your husband if you don't pay attention to it. Are you gonna go somewhere and do something about the depression you say you're suffering from?
I see a counselor every month, once a month.
Once a month? You might want a little more help. Is it difficult to get because you don't have any money?
The counselor's free with Medicaid.
With Medicaid. I understand you're facing eviction right at the moment. Is that correct?
It's close, yeah, yeah. On the 1st, yeah. And last month, this is really one of the things that, pushed this to a head. Last month, when we were threatened with eviction, she was going to go to her dad's house and leave me on the street. Now, my mom wouldn't let me come back to live with her because I'm still with Loxie, sticking up for her, okay? And she was going to just leave me on the streets, and then she wants to, when I'm saying that after this show I might leave, she's saying, well, we proposed and we took vows and that's supposed to be for life, but as soon as the money ran out, she wasn't worried about no vows.
Did you go to your father's and leave him high and dry?
No, because the rent got paid.
But if the rent wasn't paid, you were going to go back to your father's?
It was an option. My dad didn't want to see me on the streets, and his mom would take him in a heartbeat or put him up in another apartment.
My relationship with my mom's ruined.
It's not ruined. She's still bribing him. She's still telling him that he should leave me.
I understand what's happening here. I got something I want to say to you about it. What should Eddie and Loxie do to save their 3-year marriage? Share your opinion on Twitter and Instagram at Divorce Court. Divorce Court will be right back. If I was Mrs. Sweet's mother, I'd be telling him the same thing that his mother is telling him. You need to get up and get it together because you're not doing your part. And you want to talk about, you may be depressed. That's very true. I've been depressed in the past. Things happen, but I didn't never miss work because you have to feed yourself. And I think you're looking for a free ride. You're going to kick back on that disability. I want you to leave here scared. I'm worried about not having anybody, not having a husband, and not having a home. Because if you're not scared, you're going to sit down and you're not going to get back up. And this man is going to break camp. He may have his problems, he may have his issues, but he's done. He's cooked, he's toast, he's finished all the way through. Not medium rare. He is well done. He's a heartbeat away from his mama's house, and you had to give him a very good reason not to go. Do you hear me? Get it together, get scared, get out there, get it done, get a job. This matter's adjourned.
I'm giving Loxie 2 months, and if she doesn't at least get a job in that time, then I'm leaving. And I think that's more than fair.
Eddie gave me a deadline for 2 months to get a job, and I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try hard. I'm gonna listen to what Judge Toller told me, and I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do and stop being lazy and making up excuses.